I've been researching every single congressional Democrat, trying to figure out which ones are dead weight and need to be primaried next year in the midterms. Today, I'm doing New Jersey's 5th congressional district. This is Josh Gottheimer. And yes, I chose this photo for a reason, but we'll get to that. Coming from a background of working with the Democratic establishment, Josh Gottheimer has been a speechwriter for Bill Clinton, as well as worked on various Democratic campaigns in the past. He represents a district in North New Jersey, a very wealthy area. Just for some context, that will be important later. He is a conservative Democrat, often known as a blue dog Democrat, with the likes of Joe Manchin. Starting off with the shortest part of this video, we will touch the good about Mr. Gottheimer. He supports gay rights, he wants tougher gun controls if you're into that, and he supports reproductive rights. Now that we got the good out of the way, we will move to the much longer portion of this video, which is the bad about Mr. Gottheimer. Back in 2021, when the Biden administration was trying to pass their budget reconciliation bill, which consisted of two main parts. One, a general infrastructure bill that addressed roads, bridges, and rails. The other half, as critics described, was democratic social spending. Basically just bolstered social programs for ordinary people. Mr. Gottheimer led a group called the Unbreakable nine Democrats that wanted this bill split into two pieces, the infrastructure bill and what would become the Build Back Better Act. Progressives were very against this because they knew that if that happened, the Republicans would pass the infrastructure bill, but they would not pass the Build Back Better Act. Nonetheless, Mr. Gottheimer still and his people blocked the passage of the full bill, and it was ultimately split into two. The infrastructure bill passed, but the Build Back Better Act never got passed, and that included things such as a ban on offshore drilling, expanded royalties for drilling on public lands, raising corporate tax rates, strengthening and continuing the child tax credit, expanding Medicare benefits to include hearing aids for people, and also included the PRO Act, which was a massive pro-labor strengthening unions act. That ultimately failed due to the splitting up of this giant bill. Moving down the line, in 2019, he voted for a border package that gave hundreds of millions of dollars to ICE. In 2020, when President Trump assassinated Iranian General Soleimani, the Democratic leadership tried to put forth a war powers resolution that would have required Trump to get congressional approval before being aggressive towards Iran again. Mr. Gottheimer opposed this. Who knows, may came in handy sometime recently. He supports the 2025 Thin Blue Line Act, which expands penalties for harming law enforcement officers, as well as making harming a law enforcement officer an aggravating factor. An aggravating factor is a fact of the case that the jury must acknowledge when deciding whether or not to give someone the death penalty. Now, you might look at this straight off the bat and say, hey, if somebody harms a law enforcement officer, they deserve the death penalty. Yeah, but maybe harming a law enforcement officer is throwing a Subway sandwich at an ICE agent that's occupying an American street and getting felony charges. And maybe next time that Subway sandwich won't get you felony charges, but it will get you the electric chair. He helped set up the Team Blue PAC, which is a campaign financing PAC set up to protect incumbent Democrats from primary challengers. As you can see by me making this video, I do not think that incumbent Democrats need to be protected. If anything, their record should protect them. Otherwise, primary them out. Moving on to some money things. He is a big proponent of the SALT tax deduction. This stands for state and local tax deduction. What this is basically, it's a tax deduction where you can take your state property taxes and deduct them from your federal income tax. This disproportionately helps the wealthiest people as they have the most expensive properties and the highest taxes, and in effect pay less federal income tax. He absolutely loves this thing. As for his money himself, Mr. Gottheimer is a very big stock trader. In between 2020 and 2022, he had 891 stock trades, making him one of the biggest stock traders in Congress. He sits on the House Financial Services Committee, which regulates financial companies such as banks, but meanwhile, he holds stocks in Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, as well as Ally. He has violated the Stop Trading on Congressional Knowledge Act by not disclosing his trades in a timely manner. And in 2023, when there was the Silicon Valley banking crisis, he sold his stocks in those banks prior to the news even breaking that they were going to fail. How did he do that? He probably knew. Because why? Because it's his job to know. But he shouldn't be acting on insider knowledge to make financial gain. Yet he did. Taking a look at his campaign funding, he is funded in the millions by AIPAC and other pro-Israel lobbies, as well as major hedge funds such as Blackstone. This last one is a big one, and I probably could make a whole video on it, but I am just going to go through it really quickly. Mr. Gottheimer is a huge cheerleader for Israel. I honestly am not sure if he is a representative of New Jersey or Tel Aviv. He opposed the Iran nuclear deal that Obama did. He has voted multiple times over the course of the Gaza war to keep funding Israel. He's criticized those that want to put any conditions on any aid to Israel. He voted to censor Rashida Tlaib when she made critical comments about Israel. He has drafted legislation to ban citizens and companies from participating in boycotts of Israel. He does not care about your right to protest. He voted to cut funding to the IRS in order to fund Israel's war machine. He wants to ban the U.S. from working with any organization that is anti-Semitic. He supported sanctioning the International Criminal Court over their arrest warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu as well as Yoav Gallant. His colleague Jamal Bowman said some not nice things about Israel, and he has decided to support Jamal Bowman's primary challenger. He voted to bar the Biden administration from citing numbers from the Gaza Health Ministry, the numbers of the dead, and the Gaza Health Ministry is the only reputable source for the dead. Our own government, the Israeli government, have cited them as a source because they are accurate, but he does not want our government talking about those numbers. That was Josh Gottheimer in New Jersey's 5th Congressional District. This man needs to be primaried. I doubt he will be because of the district he represents, but maybe if somebody's out there, I would love to see you primary him. Just the repeated moves he's made to cater specifically to the wealthiest Americans, on top of the repeated actions that hinder the freedoms of Americans in order to favor a foreign government, on top of his insider stock trading, that just the list piles on and on and on. This man needs to be primaried. That being said, I'll continue to make more of these videos, hit more congressional districts. If you have any requests, please let me know.